notes and should we just go? Should we wait for a few minutes?
I say we go.
I say we go.
Okay,
Well, I'd like to welcome you to our first class of our 2025 Choose Columbia County Business Boosters session. These classes and workshops are put on by the Port of Columbia and the Washington State Micro Enterprise Association, which is whom we got a grant from. And so all in all, we'll be putting on 13 different workshops and trainings. And so they will go all the way through June 10th. And so gonna be fast and furious. In front of you, you have the flyer for the rest of April, which will be Sarah. And then in May, we will do artificial intelligence, which is AI and how to use AI. On May 13th, there will be a business boot camp with renowned business consultant John Schallert will be here. He'll be here all day.
What is it?
May 13th,
No, but I mean, what's the class?
called Business Boot Camp. So he's gonna teach you how to make your business
A destination. He came to Walla Walla, I would say almost 20 years ago when I was chamber director here. And I took several downtown businesses and it absolutely transformed the way they did business. He's phenomenal.
Oh.
So no matter what kind of business you operate, try to come
Yeah.
because and it's like training in the morning and then in the afternoon, I think he'll do one-on-ones
he'll be
with
one of
businesses if they want. So,
Are you gonna email out a copy of that?
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I was doing it in small bites, not to overwhelm anybody other than myself and possibly Jenny.
Not like other things I would definitely be interested in.
Mhm.
And then immediately the next day, the governor's office is going to be here with one of their commerce programs. And so they'll be here with no cost business resources. So all kinds of fun stuff there. And then, hey, Jennifer, welcome in. Also in the month of May, Jenny and Guy Jenny serves on the tourism committee. We're gonna talk about tourism in the Wallowa Valley. So the Wallowa Valley stretches from Dayton to Milton Clearwater. And so I think it's important for our businesses to know what the tourism plan is on how we're trying to attract visitors to each of our small little burgs. Financial forecasting, search engine optimization. I have one hole left to fill, but probably another exciting one is QuickBooks 101 with our county treasurer, Carla Rowe, who used to be a bookkeeper, so she'll be here.
And even if we use QuickBooks 101 helps with.
Absolutely. So at this time, I'd like to welcome Sarah McGill from The Real Sarah. I'm excited to have her here and meet her in person. We've met online over the Zoom, and so we're excited for today.
I love it. Okay, well, I'm very happy for this opportunity and I love talking about social media and I love talking and meeting and just connecting with local businesses. So it's a great opportunity and thank you so much. I do have kind of a plan for the next 4 weeks, kind of building each class, building on the previous one. But also I really encourage you, if you have questions, please do chime in because I really want this to be your class and, you know, obviously really beneficial for you. And social media is so wide and vast that it could be, you guys, I have no idea where you guys are, right? So it could be, I don't even know what a reel is to, hey, Sarah, tell me about DM automation. There's just such a range. So I'm going to start where I think is a good place to start. And if you have questions, please chime in.
Can we do introductions too?
I
Is
would
that part
love,
of your
yep,
plan?
I would
Okay.
love that. Yeah. So how about you go first?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm Jenny Dickinson. I'm the executive director of the Port of Columbia, who's putting this on. And I have used social media, unprofessionally for many, many years, but feel like it's evolving and I've not evolved with it. So
That's okay.
I have things to learn.
Yeah.
I'm Shane Light. I'm the economic development coordinator for the Port of Columbia. And I probably would echo what Jenny said. I've used social media for a long time, but upping my game is probably where I'm at. So.
Andy Zisserman with Your Tours on e-bikes.
Oh, nice.
Yep, and here to learn some ways to improve my reach in social media.
Winery tours on
e-bikes.
E-bikes.
I did a tour, it was really
She can
fun.
tell you how-
It was super fun. I have a bunch of
Wow.
video still in my archive. I took my sister and it was so fun and I've lived here since 2000. What am I? Yeah, since 2000, and I'm always thinking like, oh my gosh, I always having these moments where I just think, wow, it's just, what a time to be alive, like, what a great place to live, and that tour, I was just, it was just the perfect weather, and just riding our e-bikes through and I was like, oh, it's just so great, it just made me so happy to live here, that I was like, why am I experiencing this for the first time, but
Cool.
anyways,
Love
I
hearing
could,
that.
I could go
Thanks for
on,
coming.
okay.
You bet.
I'm Sandy Kleck and I have a catering business called the Q Wood Fired Grill. And yeah, I've been using social media, same thing. Feel like I feel like I have to jumpstart myself to say, you know what, it's been a couple weeks since you posted anything, you better, get something out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good, okay, thank you.
Okay, and I'm Tara Perdaman with Perdaman Paints. I have zero social media, anything.
Okay.
I have a Facebook profile that I don't attend to,
Okay,
and I just keeping it real.
Can you log in? Do you know
I
how to
can,
get to it?
yes,
Okay,
I can
good.
do that, but
That
I
is
don't.
so, you are
I am-
100%.
I
I am
know
gay.
I can do techie stuff, I just
Yeah.
have not done
yeah,
techie stuff, and I know that I'm a moron for not doing it because it's so critical, like before and after pictures and just everybody can see
Yeah.
everything. I've
Mhm.
not done it, it's just been word of mouth
Mhm.
for us, so
yeah,
I look forward to just jumping in both feet.
all right, I love to hear it.
That's the nice
And
thing
then-
about this area.
And then we have Jennifer, she's the only one on the
Looks like
on
it, yeah.
Zoom, so can you unmute her and she can give us a little,
She will have to unmute herself.
okay.
Jennifer, can you unmute and introduce yourself?
You guys know what she does?
So Jennifer is in Waitsburg and she has the Palouse Valley Community Center.
Okay,
It is a new event center.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, good, I gotta have to check it out.
So I have a quick question. Can I get a password and on the?
Yep.
Oh. But you know, I was gonna say that.
I have a sneaking suspicion. I can see the look in your eye.
Okay, so bonus points, like I said, please do chime in if you have questions, just be honest, thank you for being honest about where you are. No one's gonna be like, oh, that's a stupid question, we're literally here to get better, and if one of you have a question, it's very likely that someone else has that question too. And I would encourage you to take a before of your screen, of your profile, so that that's right now, or when you get
I'm gonna
back.
do Port of Columbia. I don't know who you're gonna do.
It's just important to document the journey, right? And so you're not gonna learn everything today, you're not gonna learn everything in a month, but if you can just commit to doing one little thing, be 1% better, then that's, after time, that's gonna add up, right? Feel free to take notes and pictures, and if you do wanna follow me, I'm on most platforms as the real Sarah, but then on LinkedIn, it's just my name, Sarah McGill, which I'll pull up later. But yeah, I put the real Sarah because I make reels, and I thought maybe it'd be catchy. I was telling Shane, I was like,
Cute.
I was thinking about rebranding, but then everybody says, oh, that's so memorable.
It is
And
cute.
so I was like, well, I'll keep it then.
Are you on Instagram the most?
Yes, that is my favorite. That's my favorite. Okay. So my name is Sarah McGill. I'm gonna give you a little introduction so you know that you're in good hands. Okay, so I'm a social media coach. I'm a strategist. I'm scaling to become an agency so I can reach more, help more. I'm in the current, I'm like hiring a team at this point. So I'm going from a one-woman show to an agency owner. I work with small businesses, but the state of Washington calls a small business anything under like $5 million a year, I think. So I work with small businesses and I really love what I do because it's so much more than the tech or the trends. It's about sharing stories and it's about extracting your guys' personality and your wisdom. And it's really fun to get to know get to know everybody and then be able to share that. And I'm sorry, I feel like I'm like so cold from the rain and I forgot my jacket. I feel like I'm shivering, so that's what that's all.
Are you still cold?
Yes, I'm just,
Do you want a
it's
jacket?
my own
Do you want
bummer.
me to get I have a little sweat jacket in my car. Do you want me to get it for you? It'll be too big for you, but it will make you warmer. I'll get it.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. Sorry.
And I'm over here having a hot flash, so in case you needed to know that.
So. It's not bringing up here. Oh, here we go.
So essentially, we want to tell stories, but we do so in a way that is creative, but also strategic. Essentially, what social media is doing is it's increasing your trust. It's helping you have new connections. Well, first you're getting new connections, then you're building trust with those connections. And as you're building trust, you're reducing sales resistance is what you're doing because people are used to being sold to all the time, but if they like you and they like what you're doing and they can see those before and afters and they see the quality of the work and how you care, then it's just gonna set you apart more and more, right? Essentially, we want to turn views into followers into fans, and we want email subscribers. And so everybody's business is a little bit different. Thanks so much. Oh my God. Everyone's business is a little bit different, but when I say email subscribers, I want you to just think about some sort of lead capture. If there's a club that they can sign up for or email list or something where they're giving their information, permission to contact them, that's always going to be in the back of my mind because social media can go away. The platforms are volatile. They glitch. They get hacked, there's always something, and I've been hacked and I've had my account just disabled. I just woke up one day and it was totally gone. So that was a mega bummer. But I had my email list, so that was the good news. I had a list of people. So as we're going through the class, I think that's one of the biggest takeaways that I would offer anyone is just start thinking now, whether it's an email list or a coupon or something that you can give away that's easy to recreate. So that way I wouldn't give away like a free consultation because that's your time. So ideally you're gonna have like 1,000 of these and you just wanna give them something that they can take away with them. Anyway, so that's that strategy. But I love social media because it's kind of like the great equalizer. It feels like a mom from the Midwest can become an influencer and get brand deals. And it just felt like it used to be only really big companies got that kind of exposure. And so now little companies get it too, or like just little, like I said, just mom influencers, and now they're getting brand deals. So I really like that about it. And I think social media gets a bad rap because sometimes it can feel really negative or really superficial. But I use social media like my vision board. It's like my living, breathing vision board. So I'm training my algorithm to give me the things that I want to learn, that I want to see, the places I want to go, the hacks that we're going to saving my time. So that's the way I look at it. So yeah, I love all the aspects. It's creative, it's strategic, and I like where those two roads meet. All right, so this is a little bit about me. So my name is Sarah McGill. That's my daughter Camille. She's 8 now. So it's just me and her and our crazy husky dog. I run a wild woman household over here in Walla Walla. I had several years as a wedding planner. So that's what this is McGill Event Design. That was my second business I ever started, and I met David Tutera. He's a big celebrity wedding planner. And I decided to become a wedding officiant. So I'm also a minister, fun fact. That got me into, I was working at Waterbrook Winery for a long time. I ran their events. And so then I worked for them instead of running my own business. And then I decided, hey, I really want these guys to take me seriously and pay me more. So I decided I would study to become a certified sommelier, which means I know a lot about wine. And the service people think it's a really great title. So this is me the day that I passed. But then turns out I didn't get the raise. I didn't get paid more. And it just got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm a single mom. I'm the only income earner in my house. And it's just not cute anymore to be having a roommate. Like, I need to make that money. So that way, when my kid has a screaming fit at midnight, no one is mad about it except for me. So that's what, so yeah, that's how, so I took that leap, and I would have done anything at that point. Honestly, I always joke that I would have been a janitor at the penitentiary as long as I made that hourly number for me to be able to just get our own place. But luckily, I didn't have to do that. I was offered a job at Walla Walla Sotheby's International Realty as their transaction and marketing coordinator, which at the time I thought sounded really boring, but I was like, whatever I gotta do to get that. And she goes, hey, can you do social media? And I'm like, oh, just because I'm a millennial doesn't mean I know social media, guys, you know? But she let me name my price. So I did, and I said, you betcha, I'll learn. But I had this joke, I was always saying I'm an old man when it comes to technology. And I was the last of my friends to get an iPhone, and I was really, resistant to even Google Maps. I was like, you guys should learn how to read a map. Like, stop it. So anyways, I was, and I would joke that I'm a late adapter, all these things. So how, I don't know, am I giving you a class on social media? Well, I stopped calling myself an old man when it came to technology, for one. I worked at that office for 2 years. I learned video editing, I learned social media. So I learned social media in the real estate sense, and, you know, real estate is such a highly compliant industry, and then Sotheby's is just so fancy and elegant and 50 pages of brand standards, so I kind of had to try to build these social media strategies with that in mind. And so that's what I did. And after 2 years, again, I was like, hey, you guys, about that raise? And there I was told no again. And I thought, you know, I keep doing this, like job after job. I just feel like there's no upward mobility no matter where I go. So I'm just gonna do this myself, I guess. And that's what I did. And it was just 1 year after I quit, actually, I was offered to teach audiovisual storytelling at the community college, which felt like really nice validation. And then some viral Instagram coach hired me to be on his team. We parted ways, but it was still really good validation, like, okay, I'm on the right path. So that's a little bit about me and my backstory. I've had my own business for 3 years. So March was my 3rd year LLC anniversary, and it's going great. And I'm glad to be here. So thank you so much. This is what it says. Oh, I'm an old man when it comes to technology. So essentially, yeah, my first clients were the Sotheby's agents, and I just was baptism by fire, but it started to work. You know, the metrics were coming in, we were getting the views, and then most importantly, the other realtors were saying, oh, we're seeing you guys everywhere. And that, you know, made the sellers see us more. The sellers wanted to come with us because we were having more of a social media presence. They were getting listing videos. So it was working in real life. I just want to say, though, that when you're learning about social media, I feel like it's really, really important to set the stage, set the expectation of like, yeah, it's overwhelming. It's changing all the time. You're not going to learn everything today or this month or this week, but if you can just give yourself some grace as you're learning these things. For example, every time, like, I have a lot of problem with Facebook, to be honest, like the business suite, I want to flip my desk sometimes, you know? But you just have to know it's never going to be done. It's never going to be perfect. It's just about building momentum and just being a little bit better. And there's things that I want to do better too. But we're all on our journey. And, you know, you have people like us who are kind of like solopreneurs turned freelancers and onward. And then you have people like Mr. Beast, who has like 100 people in their content team. So you're never gonna master it. So I just want you guys to have that expectation in a way, because I've worked with businesses and entrepreneurs and all across the spectrum for a long time. And there's a lot of underlying emotions that come with social media where they feel like a lot of shame. They feel like I'm doing everything and I'm not doing it well. They have all this pressure, they're leading teams, they're multitasking, they're trying to have work-life balance. And for whatever reason, social media is just like that one thing that feels like it's like the straw that's breaking the camel's back. And so I just want to address that and say that you guys are here. I'm proud of you guys, you know, proud of Jennifer for being here, you know, and just give yourself that grace. So as you're going forward, I know that if you're here today, I know that you're committing to showing up on social media, you're committed to building a step by step. And I really commend you for that, okay? So I'd like to say that, I would like to say, you know, as you go through our classes, if you could set small goals. It's really easy, and you probably already know this, you know, but it's really easy to be like, oh, I'm gonna get in shape now, I'm gonna do CrossFit 5 days a week. Well, and then, you know, then it doesn't happen, you don't stick to it because it's crazy. So stick to something small and manageable, like walking, right? Or whatever it might be. So you're the only person that's really gonna know. You're gonna see that gut feeling. If I say, hey, can you post once a week? And you're like, ugh, it's a lot, I don't know. Then we'll just scale back. So I want you guys to just kind of pay attention to how you're feeling. I know you guys are managing so much. You have so many hats you're wearing, and I want this to feel like related, like doable. So if I say, you know, post once a week or once a month, twice a month, whatever that number is, check in with yourself. How does it feel? And can you do that? Okay, maybe it's just once a month. Maybe you're just committing to posting once a month. Cause something's better than nothing. And when you're in a rhythm with that and you're like, yeah, I got this, I'm starting to get the hang of this, then twice a month, right? So start small and build from there, okay? I think you guys probably already have a goal. I bet you have a lot of shoulds in your head right now, and I'd really love to hear kind of what you guys think is one small thing that you know you could do right now after you leave this class that would just kind of help your social media presence a little bit. Do you guys have anything in mind?
I know I need to post more videos.
Okay, post more videos.
Yeah.
So how many videos per week or per month? What
Well,
do you
it just,
think?
you prompted me to write some goals.
Yes, I
So
love it. Okay.
I wanna post one video a month
Okay,
to start with,
okay. One video a month.
and at least one post a week,
Okay, like a photo, like
Yeah,
one photo.
something.
Okay. I love that. Okay, so you wrote that down?
Yep.
You dated it? Okay, cool. Love it. Thanks for sharing.
Mhm.
What about you,
That's
Sandy?
exactly what I was gonna say. I've
Okay.
never taken any videos. Well, and I have, but very rarely.
Yeah,
And yeah, I think, I feel like I take really good pictures and I get a lot of good commentary. And my husband keeps saying, you need to bring your camera, not the phone, just bring a real camera and start playing with it and doing some videos and stuff. And so that's,
if you wanna do your camera, I say go for it, but I tell you, I run my entire business from my phone.
dude,
I totally do, and I know there's a lot more people that are starting to do just purely on their phone, especially for social media. I mean, if you're gonna make a whole full-blown commercial, sure, get a camera. But the best camera is what you have on your pocket. And especially you, I mean, catering is so crazy. I mean, just pull it out, take a 5-second video and get back to the line or whatever you're doing, events are crazy, catering is crazy. And if you can even if you can just whip it out and get a 5-second video, that's a win. Cause I know wedding day, oof, gets crazy.
right? How long is too long?
I mean, a minute, maybe 3 minutes, maybe 3 minutes is too long.
Maybe a minute. I don't know, it's my attention span.
Yeah, well, it just depends. It depends. If you're gonna go really in depth with someone and you're gonna talk about the process and you wanna book me, this is what you're gonna need or whatever, like maybe that can be a little bit longer.
Mm.
But to your point about posting photos, if you just post a 5-second video instead of that one photo, it's gonna reach more people.
I'm not kidding.
Totally. Yeah, totally. Yeah. So I think full support if you want to bring your camera, but I'm 3 years in as social media professional. I still haven't even bought a camera.
Good to know.
Yeah. So,
Because it's bulky and it's,
yes, exactly. It's bulky. Yeah. All right. What about you?
My
Tara.
just first one is to create a work profile. Or
Yeah.
like a business profile,
Oh,
like literally got my license on Friday. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Or apply for it on Friday, so it's really, we're, really new in this, and, so I have absolutely zero online influence at all.
We all
For my
start
job.
somewhere.
So I'm excited that I have zero because I don't have to fix anything.
Yes. Yes. So when you say get your license, what do you mean?
her
Get a
business license.
license.
Oh, you just started your
Change this
business.
up or do it this week.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. And look at you here already. What? It's so good. Is it Tara or Tara?
Tara.
Sorry about
Yeah.
that. Okay. Okay. I am gonna press record now so I can just get like a little bit of my presentation.
I wanna share my goal.
Please
okay?
do. I'd love that.
I wanna post on the Port of Columbia Facebook or Instagram page, cause I looked at my Instagram page and it has 0 posts.
Okay.
That's bad.
Okay.
Twice a month. And I want one of them to be a story or a reel. And my issue is not taking video, my issue is editing
Oh,
video.
yeah, I know.
Okay,
I
so
hear
there you go.
you. I have so many drafts, I tell you. I have all the videos and then my problem is sitting down and editing them.
I don't even know what to edit them with, so I'm
All right.
I'm happy to take pictures with my phone, it takes great pictures,
Yeah,
and
sure does.
video,
Yeah,
but
yep.
I don't even know where to start to edit stuff.
Okay, well, no worries. So tell me how it's going right now. I think we just did that. I know that a lot of you, if you've done any kind of business training, you've already written down your mission statement. It's okay if you haven't. Sometimes I feel like I get a little bit of pushback on this, but I'm like, no, really do it. Because, marketing and social media marketing especially is just rearranging the same set of variables in different ways. So you have your mission statement, that's gonna be like the key, that anchor to all your content. And, I would love it if you could write it down. It's all gonna come around in a minute. So I would love it if you don't have a mission statement, just say our mission is to do a thing by what do you do? Who is your target audience? So like for me, it would be like, our mission is to tell stories by posting reels on social media for small businesses so that they can grow and reach the right people. That would be like example for me. So I'd love it if you could just take a second, write it down.
Mine must be bad because I can't remember it without looking.
That's okay. There is zero judgment in this room right now.
I just think that violates one of the rules of mission statements.
Well, I feel like they're kind of like living, like evolving sometimes.
Well, I was right the first time, maximize.
And throughout our classes, we're gonna like pause and like journal and reflect and stuff that's gonna help you bank it. Not just gonna talk at you for an hour and then turn you loose. Thank you for the jacket. I'm literally
Is it better?
sighing right now.
Good, good.
I was like, are my teeth chattering away? Wow, it's so cool that it just tracks me. I love that.
The owl is amazing.
That is so cool. I love it. All right, Andy, let's hear it.
I haven't written it yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm still
okay.
thinking.
Okay, you're still thinking. You
Yeah.
got one, Tara?
Kind of.
Okay.
So like our mission is to keep Dayton beautiful, one paint job at a time.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Amazing.
I'm struggling over here.
I love it.
That's okay.
So the ports is maximize public resources with private investment to create jobs, provide infrastructure, and maintain and improve the economic vitality of Columbia County and its communities.
Love that.
It's a fat one.
So good. A plus.
So I have a question about that.
Yes.
I paint here in Dayton, but we paint on the coast, the Oregon coast, all the way up to Priest Lake, like
Oh,
all
okay.
over.
Yeah,
Focusing here because it's, travel time and everything, but
sure.
how do you put that into something like in surrounding areas, like Dayton and surrounding areas, or like?
Mhm.
You could even say the
without
Pacific
sounding-
Northwest.
Yeah, I could do
I
that.
mean-
Okay.
Yeah, you
Right
can
here.
you can always tweak this, you know?
Can you read it again?
Our mission is to keep Dayton beautiful, one paint job at a time.
You could say, keep Dayton and the surrounding area beautiful, one paint job at a time. Could be as simple as that.
And if you,
It's not as quick and cute, but.
yeah, and if you were to expand on that so that like, why?
Oh,
What's
why?
the reason?
Well, because it's hard to get a really nice paint job and a facelift for your home at a reasonable price without, being taxed to the hilt on it.
Okay.
I don't believe in that. I think it's kind of, I don't know what the word is, shiesty.
Okay.
To overcharge, to
Yeah,
be in it for the money of it when people don't have that kind of budget most of the time.
mhm.
I don't think it's right. So I don't know how
I
to
can
say that.
attest to their painting,
Yeah.
Oh, love that. Okay.
just had a house painted.
Okay, so it's so that people can feel good in their houses, and so that they can
Be
take care of
proud
their
of where they live,
investment.
have a sense of pride
So-
about their home.
Yeah, so
I
they
think it's
can,
really important.
yeah, I love that. And I can I can get behind that, cause I'm trying to paint my kitchen right now. And I've been looking at it, be like, the past few years, like, oh, I hate this color so much, and it's spring break, I'm gonna do it. So that people can feel proud of where they live. I think that's an important little tie-in
Do you
too.
want us to hold you accountable?
No. Just kidding. I'm holding you accountable. That's not how this works. I'm just kidding. I mean, sure, yeah, check on me next week. Okay, officially. Sandy, do you have anything? It's totally fine if you don't.
I just, our mission is to, line if I said I could read that. Create beautiful, memorable meals offering creative quality and excellence in our food and service.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys do a good job.
Thank you.
So that people have delicious food to eat at their most special events.
Mm.
Totally. We also need to get really clear on our client avatar, who we're talking to, what their pain points and their challenges are. So if you want, we don't have to spend a lot of time on this, today, but I'd love it if you could just jot down really quick. Who's your ideal client, their challenges, their pain points. So ideal client, who they are, so homeowners in the Pacific Northwest, maybe. What are their main pain points, their challenges, like the things that's just bugging them, like for me? I freaking hate this color. It's just not my personality in my kitchen and it annoys me every time I look at it. That's my pain point. You know, so for Sandy, it could be their pain point is they have so many details when they're planning an event and like we make it one, you know, they have so many details to manage, or like they have a lot of people that need fed. It could be simple as that. And then their goals and their dreams, their best case scenario. So their best case scenario is that everybody's fed, probably on, you know, within a certain budget, and it's all seamless and everyone's it's delicious food. So that's probably their dream. And as we dig into this more, the more we can get into the emotions of it, the better, right? So like when they have a good meal at a wedding, I mean, the whole event kind of centers around that. Maybe not this, maybe the ceremony, but you know, it's obviously a huge part of the dinner. So when one of the major events of wedding day goes off without a hitch, you know, like that's their dream. It's smooth, people are bonding, people are laughing, people are sharing, and that's their best case scenario. That's their dream, I would think. So, yeah, if we could just take, you know, 2 minutes. Just want to make sure I want you guys to have this written down before you leave this room, but I know we gotta be mindful of time too. But everything's gonna circle back to this, so it's really important to have this
This is,
started.
believe it or not, hard for me.
That's okay. Well, is it businesses or businesses?
That's
your
what I'm
target?
trying, of course, that was the first thing that came up was businesses, because that's what we do. But we're also a taxing district. Every resident in the county
Mhm.
we're responsible to every resident in the county. So is that my client? I'm trying to think about social media and who I would, most of the time it's businesses, yeah, small businesses.
Okay, yeah. And we can talk to so if you're having that situation where you do have several different demographics you're talking to, you know, you can focus on when it's not that you're not gonna serve at a bar mitzvah or whatever, you know, like if you're talking about weddings, it's not like you're gonna exclude other people. But I would just, as much as you can, think about, because we want to get specific about their pain points. So if wedding clients if engaged couples are your target audience, as much as we can talk to them, like they're gonna really hear that and they're gonna just glom onto that. And the other people will still get the picture, if that makes sense.
Jennifer, can you hear us okay?
Do you know how to unmute?
It won't let us in.
No, we can't unmute her. You can ask her to unmute, but we can't unmute her. Look away from it. Don't end it.
The reason that it's so important to get these dream results and pain points really figured out, and again, you're gonna be honing these for a while. You'll be on social media, you'll scroll and you'll see those 5-second videos and it'll say something like, just wait till you realize that you can feed your entire wedding party for X amount of dollars. And then you can be like, oh wait, I can totally recreate that. And then you'll see that and you'll be like, just wait till you realize that you can have a day-long adventure for whatever, you know what I mean? Or just wait till you realize that it only takes this much money to make your house something you're proud to live in. So then as you're scrolling, you're like actually getting ideas because you realize, and you what do this next time when you leave here. Watch some reels, watch some videos and see like, oh, that's the target audience. Oh, she's calling them out. Oh, she's talking to their pain point. I think I need to have a better term for this, but I call it marketing algebra because, you know, like when you do like algebra, you have the variables and you solve for X or whatever. And so you always have like those same variables. And so it's just a matter of like plugging in, okay, well, this is the pain point. This is their desired result. This is their ideal client. And so when you start looking at marketing like that, you can kind of, even if you see like a really great ad for a plumber, you can take the structure, and be like, oh, I can recreate this to make it my own. Because you guys are probably thinking that it's more complicated to make content than it really is. Sometimes it's really simple. And there are so many accounts that they don't even have good editing. They don't even have good lighting. And they're delivering value, or they're really funny, or they're inspirational or something, and they're taking off, right? Okay, so we can come back to this. Oh yeah, but I would like for you to, the last thing, before I really dive in, I want you to tell me what's the best case scenario. If you stick to your goal of posting every week, a post a week and a reel a month, something like that. If you stick to that for a year, what's the best case scenario for you?
Increased sales,
Okay, do you have a number in your head?
no.
Okay, bonus points if you have a number, but because the more specific you can get, the better, right? So you want to increase your sales.
Yeah.
That means more bookings.
Yes,
Right, okay, so
Yeah.
you want more bookings, so I wasn't gonna read, obviously we want money, but I'm gonna say more bookings, because then you can track how many bookings you're getting in a month, and that way you'll know, but obviously you're tracking your revenue too, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Tara, what's your best case scenario in a year of posting once a week, maybe?
I have no idea. Like, I really haven't thought about that. Like, the best goal of success for me would just be able to work summers and keep the winters off so I could ski. So,
Yeah, write that down, that
that's
sounds
literally
amazing.
where it's at.
Best
We
case
do
for
all
me.
our
Yeah.
work in the summer, and then occasional just here and there stuff in the winter, and so that's kind of my goal, is just. I'm gonna be 53, I love to work, but I like to work when I wanna work,
Yeah,
and it's fun, and I enjoy what I'm doing, and I wanna be able to enjoy it. I wanna be
Yeah.
able to enjoy my life, and with the benefit of having an income to do so that's kind of what that,
best case for me is I'm running my business from a yacht somewhere.
yeah.
So that's kind of the same, except for warmer, but, I would write that down. Yeah, that's great. What about you, Sandy? Best case scenario in a year, you're posting consistently, whatever that means for you. What does that look like in your business? How is your business transformed after that?
I. Bigger reach,
Okay,
I don't know, I mean. I guess, best case scenario is to be as busy as I wanna be and turn down crap jobs.
yeah, you can pick and choose. I love that. Okay. So being as busy as you want to be, is that like, how, is that a
We're
certain number
almost
of?
there. I
Okay.
mean, we're kind of like getting to where, I mean, for the first few years. We were double booking ourselves and getting 2 teams out there and cooking for 300 people, every weekend, and it was insane. And now we've got a pretty serious client base
Good.
with the wineries, the occasional wedding.
Mm-hmm,
I would rather, weddings can be the bread and butter,
mm-hmm.
but they're super stressful.
Yeah,
So, that's part of it. It's
Yeah.
like, I'd rather do, a winemaker dinner for $125 a head
Yeah.
than wedding for 250 people for $30 a head.
Ugh, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Okay. Good.
It's a
Okay.
good goal.
I love that. You want to share yours?
Sure, I wanna gain more followers on the Port of Columbia pages.
Mhm.
And I said 500 in a
Okay.
year,
And why
Might
do you
be a
want
lot.
that?
because I want to improve the port's reputation with businesses and residents. Not that it's bad,
Yeah.
but, it's because it's not. And we paid a social media manager to do some, a campaign with Choose Columbia County, which is the other set we have. And people just loved it. I mean, it really
That was
did
really nice.
improve the reputation of all of our work. And it was just so expensive. I mean, it was expensive and she tripled the price and we can't afford it. So
Mhm.
I feel like I want to help fill in the gap, but that was a
Yeah.
really great thing.
Good.
And the businesses loved it and it helped them.
Yeah,
People came to their businesses
okay.
after she had filmed them and done a campaign.
Love it.
So,
I loved showing that to my family back east.
yeah.
Yeah. And this is
Good.
where I live and what it looks like here.
Yeah.
It was-
So that's the ultimate goal. And when
Yeah.
I was, weighing between businesses and residents. If we are showcasing businesses in a positive way, that improves our reputation with
Yep.
residents. And anything we do to help the economy helps the residents. So it all
Absolutely.
goes together.
Yeah, okay. So Sandy, would you say your target audience isn't engaged couple, that's more wineries?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I just want to make sure, as we're going through examples and stuff.
Yeah, that's probably 75% of who we work with is the wineries.
So I'd like to say every time you feel too shy to make a video or you feel like you're not good enough, I don't know what it is, but something about social media and getting your face on camera just brings up all the imposter syndrome, all the self-doubt, all the insecurities, just right there looking at you. And that can be really paralyzing. But I want you to flip the script and remember that you have a duty to show up for your people. Somebody, if you don't post, somebody's gonna book a really shitty caterer. Sorry for cussing, but right? And then they're gonna have a crap wedding and then it's gonna be gross and they're gonna have overcooked meat. And they don't deserve that. So, I mean, like paint jobs, God, I can only, like, there's so much that can go wrong. And that's the thing, right, is there's so many people that are just really good at social media, but they're crap at their job. And then people will choose them because they have a social media presence, okay? So do it for your people. Do it for your people when you don't feel like posting, when you're shy or you're having a bad hair day or whatever, you're just not feeling it. Post for your people because they deserve to find you. It's about them. And at the end of the day, we're in business to serve our people, right? To help them and to alleviate a problem. And they're never gonna know if we don't show up regularly. Okay, so the benefit that you bring to their lives is so much bigger than your fear of being seen or your insecurities. And I mean, I see you and I'm not saying that's not important. I'm just saying we're here to serve. So remember that when you get shy. Okay, this is kind of an overview. So I have always people that are like, just get to the meat of it, Sarah, and this is the meat of it, okay? So your target customer will randomly find you because you're using keywords and in your bio and your posts. They're gonna think it's random, but you know that it's a strategy, okay? They'll feel like you really get them, like you really understand their struggle because you're talking about their pain points and their dream results. They can't help but like a few posts because they're scrolling, they're in zombie mode. They can't even help it. They're pushing that heart button. You're calling them out. You're telling them exactly what they have been dreaming of. Yeah, okay, they're gonna push that heart. And then they're seeing more of your stuff. So because you're sharing stories and you're sharing your personality and your wisdom, they're trusting you more and they're probably forming an emotional connection to your business. This is reducing sales resistance, which makes them follow your calls to action. That's what CTAs are. So they're a lot more likely to send this to a friend, comment below, whatever, okay? And they're gonna need to do all that before they book with you, right? Because the call to action is sort of like a pre-sales situation. Now, for whatever reason, they keep seeing more of your posts. Well, because they're interacting, because you're talking to them, you're really getting to the meat of it, okay? And now they're starting to associate you with the solution that they need. You invite them to visit your shop, join your mailing list, click a link, and they do because after watching your things for a while, they trust you and they know you're legit and you're not gonna scam them. Everybody has that in their head now, because we've been sold to our whole lives and we're always have our defenses up. But if you're leading with value and you're leading with stories, they want to be entertained, they're gonna glom onto that, and then, what do you know, you have the solution. So you share a freebie and they're willing to give their contact information for it. That's what I said kind of at the beginning about email lists or lead capture in some way. And now you have an incredible asset, a list of interested people who need your service and they trust you. So this is the meat of it, okay? Do you guys have questions about any of this? Okay. It's all about the pain points and their dream results, okay? So we can brainstorm a little bit. Do you guys have any questions? I already asked this, okay, I just wanna make sure I checked in with you guys. So I really wanna get into the meat of it and just brainstorm what kind of content you guys can post, okay? So, let's troubleshoot. Okay, that's the main thing I wanted to set the stage, but let's troubleshoot. Let's think of some ideas, some reels that you guys can make. Do you guys have, we're just gonna live troubleshoot. This is the end of my slides. I just want to get to the meat of it. What do you think are some content ideas that you could share? Maybe we can like have a couple minutes to think about it, but like thinking about your desired result, your target audience, their desired results, their pain points. Is there something that comes to mind, like a message you want to share? Does anything come to mind? And we can dig in right now, but a lot of us, we have an idea. A lot of us know what we should do. We just don't do it, right?
Yeah, I need to show Emery cooking on the grill. And the various different fires he uses to. Cause he's got a wood pit barbecue, and then he does like whole animals over a pit on the ground.
Yeah.
Just different kinds of fires and.
Does he do the whole pig in the ground at all?
He does the whole pig, and then
Oh
he's
my
got,
gosh,
he
that's so good.
built a box. It's like the size of a coffin that would fit me.
Terrifying. But yeah, the whole pig, I tell you, that is delish.
Yeah, and then he does like, indigenous salmon weave kind of thing that have you ever seen?
No, I'm curious, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's a whole salmon and it's splayed out like,
Okay,
from the center. And he weaves it with willow branches and then puts it in a post on the ground and it cooks over a fire. I can show you a picture.
yeah, that's,
Is that how they used to do the rotary, isn't it? Similar?
Maybe, I don't know, I've never been, but they do it, they do it at the, this wine event over in McMinnville every year. They have but when they do it, they have a fire that runs down the center about this long.
oh, wow.
And then they've got salmon steaks.
Yeah.
The lot
That's how
of
they
that.
used, yeah, that's how Rotary,
Yeah.
Rotary used to do it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's really cool.
Okay, so you
So
wanna
it's dinner in the
show,
shop,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah,
So you wanna show the different fires and the different meats and the different cooking techniques.
yeah. And
Yeah.
the various cuisines that we do, because we do world cuisine supper clubs.
Oh,
So,
yes,
yeah,
I wanna know about that.
Moroccan food and Japanese food and, yeah, we just pick a country and start searching for,
Whoa,
yeah, it's fun.
that is so cool. I love that.
We just
Okay,
look for recipes, like when we did a Taiwan, I was reading about this chef that spent 5 years in Thailand and he said something about this particular chicken thing that's like a street food deal, and this is why God invented chicken in the first place. We're doing that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I mean, there's a
there's
lot of.
so much to dig into right there. There's so much. Okay, so
Oh, yeah.
yeah, okay, so what I wanna invite you to think about how one idea can be so many different types of content, okay? So think about from long to short. So you could go outside right now and talk to the camera and say something like, did you guys know that we do International Supper Club nights? Whatever you call it. We just pick it, what you just told me, we pick a country, we pick the food, and then we make it. If you want us to come and do that at your next event, send us a message and we'll get started, right? So that can be a talking video. I call them talking head videos. And then later, that same topic, you can be, next time you do one of those, or if you have any photos in your camera roll or anything, you could just say, this is an example of an international supper club dinner night that we did. The inspiration was this, the country was this. This is why we decided, or this is why, they chose this or whatever. We love doing these, make sure to book us. It could be a carousel, which is when you're like sliding with several different photos. Like a slideshow.
Mhm.
So if you took a couple of different photos, 2 or more from a particular dinner, you can go in and you can talk about that. So sometimes what I do with my clients, I get them talking on camera, I'll interview them. And then, I'll be like, okay, on Monday, we're gonna post the interview version of the Salmon Supper Club. Then next Monday, we're gonna post the quick, like 5-second reel with text on screen talking about the Salmon Supper Club. And then the next week, we're gonna post a carousel about it. Because not every person is gonna see every single one of your posts. And every single one of every different type of post, they have their own purpose. So going back to this really quick. This is the client, this is like our customer journey, right? So a customer is gonna go from, they don't know about you, they're aware of their problem, they're aware that you can fix the problem, now they trust you, now they book with you. So that's their client journey, right? And that's basically what happened from top to bottom in these list of examples, but everyone's kind of got their own speed. Sometimes they're like, oh my God, I need to pay my kitchen immediately. Sometimes they're like me and they take 4 years to do it. So this is always dependent on the customer and what's going on in their life and their head and everything. But the same thing is true, alternating between those different types of content that I mentioned, that is gonna help them move through their customer journey with you. So when they're seeing those really fast reels that are really short, do you know what I'm talking about? When it's just like a really short video and there's text on screen and that's all. Have you guys seen that?
Probably.
Okay, that type of reel is being shown to new followers. Cause the algorithm, it wants to promote your content. So that type of reel is being shown to new followers, okay? And then when you talk to the camera and you're talking for a minute, up to 3 minutes, or maybe sometimes longer on TikTok, let's just say a minute, then that's somebody who's already seen you. They kind of maybe they follow you or they've just interacted with a couple of your posts. And the fact that they're watching it till the end means they're pretty interested, because usually we're swiping within a couple seconds. But if they make it to the end, that means they have that more trust with you, right? They're a little bit farther down in their journey. Those carousel posts, those are another opportunity similar to the longer videos, longer reels where,
Is that just pictures?
yep,
Is that what you mean by?
yeah, carousel, it's kind of like a slideshow when you step through it.
Okay.
So those are a great opportunity to go into more depth, a little bit more detailed. Oh, gosh, sorry. A little more depth, a little more detail. You're building trust with your audience, okay? And then when you share the stories are usually seen by the people that are your fans. They're watching all your stuff. So stories is a great place to move them off of the platform and give them a link, sign up for my email, book a thing,
Wait,
click
wait.
here,
What are you talking?
stories.
On the Instagram?
Mm-hmm,
So instead
have
of
them on
posting to my
Facebook too.
page, I post to stories,
mm-hmm.
and what happens?
The people who are seeing your stories are most likely the people who have already been watching you for a while. They're like your warm clients, your warm leads. So they're a lot more likely to click a link.
And watch the whole bit.
Yeah, or that's a good, no, not, they will watch the whole bit, but more specifically, they're a lot more likely to take action. So, that's why I put booking links in my stories a lot of the time, and I'll kind of, like I have a couple of different offerings. I'm sure you guys have a couple different things you could be promoting. So it could be click here to book, or click here to book a call, or click here for a coupon. So if you put those in your stories, that's where they're most likely to be clicked on, because the people who are seeing your stories are the ones that have been watching you for a long time. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So the different types of content is for a different place in the customer journey. So when I said earlier, take one idea and roll with it, turn it through all those different types of content, because number one, not everybody's gonna see every single post. And number two, it's doing its job of like working them down the line, you know, from being a stranger to trusting you and booking with you. Does that make sense through their customer journey? Yeah. Okay,
Have you watched stories?
I don't think I've ever clicked on it.
Okay. Yeah, it's,
I mean, maybe.
yeah.
We just don't have a lot of time.
yeah, you can, yeah. I gotta set a timer, you guys. I mean, I do social media for a living and I have a timer on Instagram that's like, you've been on here for more than 30 minutes. I'm like, oh, because sometimes I have to go on for client research, I have to like reply on behalf of my clients, and then 20 minutes later, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at the cute puppy. Hold on, or like hair tutorials or whatever, and I'm like, this is helpful, but I gotta, hold on, come back to this later. So, what I'd like to do right now is make a goal for what's something that you guys are gonna do this week. So you're gonna do something with Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, what I would recommend with Facebook is if you have any trouble at all, I would YouTube like setting up your business profile, Facebook 2025. Because the platforms change so much. There's so many different interfaces active right now on Facebook.
Right.
I'll be on one client's Facebook and then it'll look different on my Facebook. I'm telling you, it's so wacky.
So what was the YouTube?
So the YouTube thing was
Sure,
whatever
yeah.
if you're doing anything Facebook related,
Right.
put the year.
Okay.
How to do XYZ on Facebook 2025, because then you'll watch the 2022 version and you'll be flipping your desk because. Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
And then, Andy, do you have, well, I would recommend for any of you guys, do you already have photos on your camera roll about what you were doing out when you're doing your tours?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I've got photos galore.
Photos galore,
Yeah,
okay?
and, you know, I'm thinking about, you know, content for posts and,
Mhm.
you know, what I probably don't have enough of is as many photos of people while we're actually at the wineries doing wine tasting.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking about how I can get more photos of that
Mhm.
and maybe even some videos of people having a good
Mhm.
time at the wineries.
Mhm.
Uh,
You know, what would be really good is get little tags. I know you, actually, I wonder. I thought Kickstand Tours, look, this is literally the book that you gave me.
Yep, I just noticed that.
This is my bag. Okay, so review us on Google. The Google review is really great. But maybe add to this sticker and say, tag us on Instagram.
Yeah, I actually, you know, I used to have a QR code for people to follow us on Instagram, and I just didn't get a lot of traction with that. So I
Yeah,
went to just the sticker for the QR code.
I would just have both if you're open to it, because maybe you're not gonna get a ton of traction, but it's not something that you can count on as like a regular core anchor of your social media strategy, but as much as you can, because if someone, what people are likely to do is they're probably gonna share a story. Look what we're out doing with Kickstand Tours, and they'll tag you in it.
We do have something about following us on, and I can add the tag us language in the little info packets that we send out to all of our guests before
Yeah.
they join us.
Yeah,
And I think that gets, I think, more traction with
Yeah.
people. But we have had a lot of success with the QR code for the Google reviews. So I started
Good.
putting those on the back of the little books that we give people.
yeah,
Our
That helps, huh?
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
so we give out a little, the first winery we get to, we have a little
Cute.
packet with a little, we stole that idea from the Finch.
little goodie bag.
Yeah, when
and
my
stuff.
wife and I stayed at the Finch the first time, they have a little book like that, they
Hmm.
call it their field guide.
Mhm.
That's
And it's got a little
nice.
map of the hotel and some recommendations. and stuff.
Cute.
And she
Yeah.
picked it up, and she's like, we're gonna do these on your tours.
Yep,
And so when we get to our first stop, everybody gets a little notebook with a pencil so they can take notes while they're wine
Mhm.
tasting. And she's a teacher, so she throws a sticker in there, because she
Oh,
doesn't
yep.
love a sticker, you
Yep.
know. And then we started adding, a couple of years ago, we started adding the QR code, and I noticed that our Google reviews just started going up exponentially.
yes,
So, you know, we would always ask people at the end of the tour, but when they've got it right there, and they can just do it. A lot of people are doing it like at the last tasting, you know, I'll see that we're getting reviews.
yeah.
And so,
And I think the tag me or tag Kickstand Tours is gonna be more powerful than asking for a follow. Because they're gonna tag you and then every time they tag you in a story, as long as you respond within 24 hours, you can reshare that to your stories.
Mhm.
And people are gonna follow because they're like, wow, Abby and David had a great time. I wanna check that out. So a follow, it never hurts to ask for a follow, but if you're asking for a lot of things, I would say, and yours is an experience, people wanna show like, I'm in wine country, I'm doing the thing, I'm drinking the wine, I'm having a blast. Get some FOMO. They wanna be doing that, and so then that's a great opportunity for you to leverage that. And be using that, and you can use that content. And once you share it to your stories, I mean, you can like, there's a way to go back in there and like reshare it and things. So once they tag you, it's kind of like it belongs to you anyways. So I think that'd be really good language. And then, in regard to the reviews, and I'm sure you have reviews too, and you'll have reviews soon. You can take a video. So let's say, for example, I have a video where I'm on my bike, right? And I just hold up my phone and it's just like, vineyards right here, right?
Mhm.
So, so if you have any videos like that, and if not, I'll send you some, because I definitely have them of the tour. You can just do a 10-second reel and then add one of your reviews
Mhm.
on there. And that can be a recurring thing. So if you're gonna post, let's just say you post one reel a month, well, don't make every post a review post, but if that can be like a recurring theme.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, or you could also go on your Google on your phone, take screenshots of the review, 5 or so. And
Make
then,
that like a
you
carousel.
have a carousel, and maybe the first slide could be a picture of your bike, and then you could add text that says, hey, here's what our clients think,
Mhm.
and then they'll swipe, right? Super simple.
Jennifer is there listening. I'm sorry you can't unmute, Jennifer.
Does she have, well, Jennifer, if you put it in the comments or in the chat, I mean, we'd love to know. If you have any questions at this point, we definitely can, we're just gonna be problem solving, okay, but this is a great answer, good. Okay, if you want to problem solve, actually, can you put in the chat, like, what's your one goal? What's your one goal for this week, Jennifer, that you could do like one little thing better? I'd love to hear what it is. Okay. So what I was gonna say about all your photos and videos, if that's your entire camera roll, then you can disregard what I'm about to say, but I think it's really helpful and it'll save me so much time. I have an album in my phone. So I've just gone through my camera roll and I've just ticked the ones that are relevant and I add it to their own album and I call it Content Bank. And that way, when you're like, I haven't posted in 2 weeks, what am I gonna do? Then you can just go in there and be like, we can't wait to book your event, even if it's super simple like that. People just need that reminder. And so if you have it's really like building a habit, right? It's like, it's like with working out. I started off walking, I didn't start with anything crazy, and now look at me, I'm working out 5 days a week, right? So it's just like with social media, just post regularly and get in the habit of doing it, and then you can make it better, and then you can take better pictures, and then you can learn editing, and then you can do all these other things.
She's got a message.
No followers and fresh content, the time sharing tricks are great too. The time sharing tricks, okay. Let me see. So Jennifer, do you have accounts set up yet? So no followers and fresh content. So let
She
me
says
know.
new followers.
Oh, new followers. Yeah, okay, good. Okay. New, yeah, gotcha. Okay. Jennifer, put your Instagram in the chat and we'll all follow you. Palouse Valley Community Center. There he goes. Okay, so let's do that right now. Let's follow everybody first things first. And soon we'll follow you.
Wait. On Instagram?
Yeah, on Instagram. Let's go follow Jennifer.
There it is. I think I probably already follow Modern Stone Age Food.
I think you do.
Palouse Valley. Palouse Valley
Uh-oh, there's
CC.
Modern Stone Age Food and Modern Stone Age Kitchen. Do you just have one?
Yes.
Okay, I'm already following you on Instagram, okay.
Somebody did Modern Stone Age Kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
I
and you
never
are
watched it.
Kickstand.
All right, so now, thank you for that. I'm following you, Jennifer. So now let's go on Instagram and follow Kickstand Tours.
Andy
What was
Zisserman.
yours?
Mine is Modern Stone Age Food.
Modern Stone.
Oh my gosh, I didn't follow you, Andy. Whoops, sorry about that.
Annalise Photography is following Andy.
Oh, of course she is. She is the best. Oh my gosh.
One of my goals this year is to get her to come out and get some real pictures for us for like our website and stuff, because I follow her and
Yeah,
she does great work. So
well, it's wedding
What do you
season.
call it?
Kickstand Tours.
extend tours.
The real Sarah, and she's got a story.
Mhm.
Oh, and she's wearing that shirt.
Yep. So I like to do my I have like my post of the day typically, but then I'll have like my behind the scenes. And it can be so simple. I mean, sometimes we so overthink it because this is what we do every single day. We're like, there's nothing special about that, right? But just share what you're doing, and the more you do it, the easier it'll be. Okay, so then Modern Stone Age, hold on, I gotta get. Modern Stone Age food, the Q.
Huh.
Okay,
Is this your website or your Instagram page?
That is my website. Yeah,
and then Tara, are you on Facebook yet? No, okay, well, we'll follow you next week. We'll follow you next week, okay?
Yes, I'll get that done.
Okay,
There we go.
so Andy, you're gonna post a reel this week, is that your goal?
actually, my goal for this week is to interact with my followers and people like that. Cause I
Mhm.
remember we talked about that before, just to go and make comments
Yep,
and stuff like that. I'm gonna hold off a week on the reel until my wife is out here, because she'll help me do some better videos.
okay, okay.
I already did follow you.
Good,
You can all follow me on my business page,
okay, let's do it, what is it?
Three Doors Vintage,
Okay,
3 Doors what?
vintage,
Vintage.
is it spelled out 3 or the number
Yep.
3?
spelled out.
3 Doors Vintage.
An incredibly long story. We did an Instagram live on Saturday
Okay,
at a sale, a camper sale.
whoa. Well, good, okay, good, I'm glad you told me about it. And while we're, and to your note, Andy, when you're, on here interacting, I would think about maybe who could be some referral partners for you, wineries,
Yeah,
tourism.
that's exactly what I was
Yeah,
thinking. is
okay,
interacting
perfect,
with,
yeah.
like, some of my winery partners,
Mhm.
things like that.
Just commenting on some things when you're commenting, and same thing for you too. Try to comment more than 4 words, more than just an emoji if you can, right? Ask questions in the comments or clarification and maybe like get a conversation started. If you do that on a regular basis, I did that for one of my clients, and within a day, they had 30 new followers just from interacting. We didn't even post, it wasn't even from posting, it was just from interacting. So, statistically, you guys are all scrolling 2 hours a day. I don't know. That's what the stats say. So if you're scrolling, now you can have a little bit of purpose. So you can be scrolling and interacting, liking people. You could even just like search Walla Walla in Instagram and just see who's popping up, like their thing. Sometimes influencers come by or people with really great photos, and you can like their photos, and just, it's all about building community,
Are the 2 of you connected with Visit Walla Walla?
Absolutely,
Okay, good.
Good.
yeah. I've got, my tours on their activities calendar.
Okay,
for
great.
every day of the season.
And if you have anything special going on, you send them even a direct email and say, hey, we're doing this.
I was just talking with Guy the other day.
You should.
about
I should.
Doing something with them.
They are, and we are really working on regional tourism. They are really reaching beyond their borders, and
Good.
they are looking for things to promote. So Sandy, you're fun. If it's a dinner that the public can, be part of, you should tell them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can remember, just send them a,
Well, yeah, I mean, I do
Mhm.
like, I share it with the Dayton Chamber and
you should share with us more.
Sure.
Okay.
We're the ones who puts out the newsletter more than the paper does,
Okay.
short newsletters. We have a big newsletter following.
Email it to me, my email, so just email it to me
Anytime,
or,
yep, or me, anytime.
Same.
But yeah, just if you maybe make yourself a little group in your email or something and you say, hey, we got this coming up and send it to Tourism Walla Walla and, or Visit Walla Walla and us and the chamber and everybody, then whoever's got the ability to send it out can do so.
Yeah, I do have a couple of things coming up.
Love it. What would you say are your biggest obstacles right now? What's getting in your way?
memory.
Remembering to post?
Mhm.
Time,
Okay. Time,
taking the time to get it organized and pictures and text and,
so one of the ways to save on time is what I was saying to Andy, is if you have any photos that are of the port of Dayton, having them organized in an album, that's gonna save a lot of time. It's gonna save a lot of time. Would you consider putting a calendar invite or an alarm?
mm,
Would
Yeah.
that be just to make sure, get that extra nudge? Would that be helpful?
mhm.
Okay. One thing that will help immensely with time is if you're just sitting down, jot down a couple, as you're having ideas, right? Sometimes, like for me, I'm always getting ideas when I'm like not on my computer, I'm like in the shower, or I'm like working out or driving. I get a lot when I'm driving.
Mhm.
And I have an app in my phone, like in my notes app. And I add to the list. So that way I'm not, that's when you're first starting out, that's one of the biggest challenges is just, I don't know what to post, but then I get all these ideas. Like just coming up with content ideas sometimes can be the biggest burden.
Yeah, and you were talking about pain points, and I was trying to think, what is it that people really wanna see? I mean, yes, they love the stories about businesses, but what
They want
are the
people-
businesses' pain points? You know,
Ah,
they
okay.
have. I wrote down lack of money, lack of time, you know, lack of, you know, the things that I feel like businesses are their pain
Yeah,
points.
they
So
want
what
more revenue.
content would help them?
Yeah.
It's not an easy one.
Well, I think sharing about this series on the social media would be really helpful,
Mhm.
especially that one on the 13th. It sounds like that's gonna
Mhm.
be a game changer for a lot of
Mhm. It
people,
can be.
right? Yeah. You could even go out the door, take a video walking in about this setup.
Mhm.
That could be like, hey, we have a whole bunch of workshops for you. Have you heard about them?
That's true. I didn't take a
Maybe.
picture of you, but.
Yeah, every time you take a picture, try to do a 5-second video instead, because
Okay.
this is what happens all the time. I even had a client one time, they meant to post a photo, but just by accident, they pushed reel and then they uploaded the photo thinking it was a post, and it performed at least 3 times as many views just because it was a reel. Yep. And that was just an accident. It was just a happy accident.
Hmm.
So as much as you can, the photos are good, but get in the habit of taking video. And you can always take a screenshot of if you just have to have a photo, not a video, you can take a screenshot, you
Okay.
take your video and
Mhm.
pause it. But I would
Okay.
really recommend if you can just start getting in the mindset of taking video all the time, just like me. I mean, you have a tripod in your car, by your office, by your
Mhm.
desk, right? And you don't even have to have a tripod. I mean, sometimes it's just as simple as doing this, right?
Mhm.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
So are there permissions that need to be that I have to get from like a homeowner before videotaping their home and
Yeah,
putting it on?
That's a little bit of a special situation.
Right.
So, I do social media for an HVAC company, so I am in their house, in the houses sometimes. I would always have a conversation with the homeowner or whoever it is, just be like, hey, is it okay if we take little snippets throughout our day? Because as you know, it's just so important for businesses to be on social media. And if they have, normally if you just ask, they normally say yes. And I make it a point, like I never have the house numbers showing, no one really knows exactly what house I'm in. But and at the end of the day, it's not about their house, it's about the work that you're doing, right? So I would ask them, and it's always can feel kind of awkward, right? But back to that slide, that's like, your people need to find you though,
Right,
and like,
yeah.
yeah.
I just don't know what the legal ramifications would be, say if, I put something up on somebody's home and without permission and they see it and then flip out.
Yeah,
I don't think I would see that and foresee that happening,
Yeah.
but I just don't know. So I guess I just don't know how to research
Like
that.
when you at the Wall Fair, you walk in, there's signs and it says you may be digitally recorded and we reserve the right to use those photos by coming onto this property.
Mhm.
You can add that into your
Service
like,
agreement.
You
like your-
could, yeah.
Your quote acceptance.
That's,
Yes.
we've got it in our waiver when people sign the
Yeah,
waiver
okay.
for our tours.
Mhm.
So it could just be a part of the agreement, the initial agreement.
Yeah.
And I think if you just have that conversation, like she said, most people are probably gonna be, just tell them like, we're not gonna show your house number or anything.
Right, you
We're
already
gonna
have.
respect your privacy, but we'd love to show our work.
Yeah, but
I
we
think-
have to show our work. I would say even that, like, we need
And before and
to.
after photos, I think would be great for
Oh, yeah,
what you're
it
doing.
is pretty
you know.
dynamic.
Yeah,
I've got before photos.
time lapse, if you have
You
a,
know, getting set up for the day, if you do like scaffolding or stuff like that, showing that, get all set up. I know I need to do some videos of like, getting the bikes loaded up for the
Yeah,
day. getting it set up.
absolutely.
Getting the trucks loaded and getting that kind of.
yeah,
Get my husband loaded.
yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's at the end of the day, right?
It depends. No.
Okay, so we talked about saving time, we talked about remembering, I mean, if it comes down to putting a reminder in your phone. Start a list in your notes app, as you're coming to it. Another thing that I like to do when I'm just scrolling, I don't know if I can share my screen maybe, but, if I join the Zoom from my phone, I could do that.
You'd have to unshare your laptop before, you can only share one device at a time.
Oh, that makes sense,
So
okay.
you could unshare your laptop, and then if you join the meeting from your phone, you could share your phone. Oh,
Okay,
here,
so
that
I
goes out.
exit out of this here, right? Do I leave the
Yeah,
meeting?
stop
You don't need to leave the meeting,
Oh,
just stop
okay.
sharing.
Just stop
Yeah,
sharing.
You
download.
did, you stopped sharing, you did.
So now, now what we'll do is I'll show you how you can do some content research so that you're going through the week. You can kind of start getting the juices flowing. You have your action items and you're gonna be really good to go. So let me see this. And then join the Wi-Fi here too. Okay, port. OC 257. I love how this is following me. It's so cool.
You are the star,
I'm
except
the
I'm talking, so
star.
you're not showing me my
Okay,
gray, my gray temples, oh my god,
Silver.
it is silver.
Wait, can I just join from my browser? Hold on, I guess I don't have the Zoom app.
Do you have, oh. Can you, oh. Do you get on social media on your oh, there you are, you're there.
Okay, so I need to turn this down.
You have to mute. Just-
Okay, so I'm muted,
Yep.
but
Perfect,
it's still,
and turn the sound down, I think.
okay, disconnect audio.
Now you need to share your screen. Or do you have your Instagram open?
More. Would share screen be on there?
Gosh, I don't see it.
Darn it. And the thing is, I could do it from my screen, from the laptop, but and
It
the app,
looks
it's different. Yeah, you actually don't have all the same capability on. But what I was gonna say to do,
Why can't she share her screen? Nope, that's her phone.
you mean this one?
Yeah, there's just no option here.
Options.
Weird. I guess I went
Well,
to.
that's okay. I'll show you how to do content research. And you can just follow along as we go, I
Yeah,
guess.
there's no.
All right, well, shucks, what do you do? Okay, So if you go on Instagram, do you have Instagram just for fun?
Mhm.
Yeah, so if you go on Instagram. I would go to the search bar. So you're searching and then. Searching, no, okay, and then search your industry. So if it's catering, if it's painting, if it's
Oh, wow.
bike tours, tourism events, things like this. So I'm just gonna type in, event catering. Okay. So once I've searched event catering, along the top, I'm gonna click on Reels.
Right. Where did you see that?
Wow,
It's
I
not
never,
gonna show you the same on the,
I never thought of that.
it's not gonna give you the same options, but if you go to search
Yeah,
and then,
catering.
yeah, dang it,
Came
see,
up this.
so that's why it's just
So I need to do it on
different.
the phone.
Yeah, you really do, yeah, I wish otherwise I would show you how to do it on here.
Show you on mine.
Okay, so what you can do is you're
I'm
gonna,
searching for winery tours.
all right,
Shout out to business owners trying to grow on IG.
I love that.
And that's all it is. I'm following everyone who comments on this reel, and it's just a picture of her watering her plant. That's
Okay, you
it.
know what?
That's it.
You know what I would do? I would save that. Do you know how to save a reel?
Nope.
No, I got Rose.
Okay, so click on those three dots and then push save.
Ah,
And then make a new collection that's like recreate this.
I go down these sticky rabbit holes.
Oh my God, I love that.
Did you see this?
Click save and then
Just like,
do new collection.
New collection.
It goes.
Okay, so when you find a reel that you could recreate, save it. And then save it to a new collection that's like recreate this
This is
content or.
amazing.
Mhm.
I didn't even know this existed.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And so now when you're scrolling and you're like, you know what, I could do my own spin on that. You'll save it, you'll click those, and so,
To the 3 dots.
yeah, so the three dots and then you'll save it and you can put it in a new collection. So for example, with event catering, the reason that I need to go to Reels is I can see how many views these are getting. So
Yeah,
this
I
one,
think
this one has 1.8 million views.
Wow.
Yeah, that one had
Super short.
388,000.
Super short, all that means is you're gonna take a video before, you're gonna snap, and you're gonna try to get it the same position, but no,
That is genius.
so simple, you could totally do that.
Yeah.
Before and after, she doesn't even have text on screen, there's no editing, so it's just those three dots, save, and then I have. Mine's called recreate this content, so,
What's that?
Oh my God.
yeah,
So it
and
lets
so,
you put your own photos in.
You're not really, you could save your own post, but what I'm doing is I'm making a collection of all the content that I wanna recreate. Does that
For
make
yourself,
sense?
yeah.
So you could recreate this reel, push those three dots and save it. So now you're doing this when you're just scrolling. And that way, when you are gonna sit down and make content, yep, you know exactly what to do.
Okay.
And because you're already gonna have all your content organized in a folder on your phone. So you're gonna
Oh,
know
yeah.
exactly what to do. Yep.
We don't have any organizational skills. We don't.
I mean-
My husband and I are ridiculous.
Really? We all have our things.
Yeah.
So it'll save you a lot of time if you do that, but if you just scroll through your camp, but then I get distracted. I'm like, oh, look at my kid, she's
Cool,
so
I'm like,
cute.
it's shiny.
Yeah, I know. So that's what you do. And you know, you might have a couple different sub niches. So maybe event catering, maybe specialty cooking techniques. You could do that same thing or like wood fire barbecue, right? Wood fire BBQ. So then I'm gonna search that. I'm gonna click on the Reels tab. This one has 49.6 million views. Let's see what this is all about. See how simple that video is? It's just a guy cooking.
There you go, Sandy.
Yeah,
No text on screen, no edits.
wow,
So this is it.
I have
So
that.
I was like, you
kind of
can
hard
create a
for
reel
that
like
deal.
that. You can stand
Yeah.
behind your husband while he's cooking and you can do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, but look at that stove.
I mean, to be
Well,
fair, I know, I mean, to be fair, this account has 190,000 followers, so that's definitely contributing. So if you do this exercise in the next week and you think about your main niche, but then also your other supporting niches, whether it's shopping, vintage finds, treasure hunting,
How,
history, maybe.
how do you post to that?
Well, do you mean, how do you recreate that?
No, I mean, where do you? I guess
That's
I
what
don't
she's
know
talking
what
about.
my question is.
You would take a video of Emery cooking
Mhm.
Just put it on your own page.
and then
Put
you
it on my Instagram
Mhm.
page.
on the, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just upload it.
And then look at, and we're just using this to study, right?
Mhm.
So, you know, you can take those hashtags that he's using and use those same hashtags. And all the caption says, if you're not cooking on a flare outdoor fireplace, then what are you even doing? Listen to that sizzle.
And then how many hashtags does he have?
And you could
Well, he
say,
has like
you're not
30
cooking on an
hashtags.
outdoor fire,
Yep. If you're not cooking
Attraction.
on, yeah, if you're not
whatever
cooking on wood
Emery calls
fire,
it.
why even
The
bother?
Q is what he
Yeah.
calls it.
Yeah.
Well, if you're not cooking on
As
the
in
cue.
barbecue.
Yeah.
Mm.
So now we could do, painting. I'm
Or
gonna
if you're not eating food cooked on the cue, what are you even doing?
I'm gonna do painting service, because I feel like if I just do painting, I'm gonna get like watercolor tutorials, you know? So painting service, reels,
And you know, stealing ideas from others is absolutely just the bomb. It's the bomb. This is so brilliant.
well, you know, you put your own spin on it.
Uh-huh. But that's what it is. I mean, in tourism, I mean, so much of what you do, you
Mhm.
see somebody else do something great. You come home and you
Yeah.
do the same great thing.
There's a book called Steal Like an Artist.
Mhm.
And it's to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
Simple.
Just
That's
simple.
exactly what we-
Yep.
Like simple.
you know, and maybe you can do this, you go to maybe you're watching a couple of videos or a couple of these reels, maybe you have a list of like the videos that you wanna get at your next job. So you're gonna get like, okay, I'm just gonna get video of the roller going up and down. I'm gonna get, what's this one? He's explaining something, he's talking, whatever let's see what he's talking about.
Yeah, removing stuff. I love that. That's my.
And people love watching that stuff. It's so therapeutic. He just needs the sander to like take it off.
Oh, yeah, you totally did that on this. Change shed.
Yeah. So maybe, you know, this one, they're using it, what do you call this?
Sprayer.
Yeah, okay, sprayer. Yeah, I would watch that.
Mhm.
And 1.6 million people watch that. So you can kind of make your list of like, next time I'm on a job.
Yeah.
And it is a concerted effort because you're there to do your job and it always feels like the social is secondary and it, you know, kind of is, I get that. But then you can be making your shot list. What if you ever are like, oh, okay, I made the reel. Sometimes I do this where I'm like, now all my creative juices are gone. I don't know what to say in the caption. I'm gonna go back and be like, okay, what did they say? Okay, I'm gonna put my own spin on that. Okay. You guys can all do that, and you guys are gonna be on 2 hours a day just scrolling for fun, so now you're commenting, now you're finding new followers, you're connecting with people, you're asking questions, and you're doing content research. And I'm gonna show you one more thing, we got 1 more minute left. There's a person I really like, hold on, her name is Tori Dunlap. She's a financial expert, she calls herself the financial feminist. So her account, 2.2 million followers, and she posts a lot with no makeup on. This is what I was telling you about, not good lighting. But what she'll do is she'll do something like this. Okay. So the video is just her. I'll show you guys in a second. The video is just her. And it said, if I could give my younger self advice as a now multimillionaire, I would tell her that she needs to open up this thing called a high yield savings account, whatever. So basically, you can take this prompt and you can recreate it. So if I could give my younger self advice as a new caterer, I would say X, Y, and Z thing. But you know, she's actually talking to her, so her target audience is people who want to have a lot of money. So people who are her client, but early in their journey, and that's what this is.
So that's all it is.
Right, so this is her
We don't have to
video.
Work in the winter.
Yeah, it's just the video, it's
And
just
can
her.
afford to ski.
She either had
Not
a
dressed up,
She's
yeah.
not dressed up, it's just her, so this is what I mean, this could have been a photo, but now it's a 10-second video. And-
Just turn her head.
Yep, and she's talking to her target audience and where they were at the start of their journey, advice for the start of their journey. And honestly, I follow her a lot because she does things like that all the time.
Do you have a high heel?
No, I don't,
I do.
but I do invest in.
There you go.
index funds,
Okay,
so I
see?
wanna get
There you
some,
go.
know,
You've done it.
I'm working
Is
on
it
it.
Tori K Dunlap, do you think? Oh, no, here it is. Tori Dunlap
her
Money
first
Expert.
under-
Her first
her first
100,000.
100K,
Okay,
yeah. So that's her account. So another one of hers example is. Okay, POV, you wanted to break free from the credit card trap, so you consolidated all your high interest credit cards. Now you can relax knowing you'll save money on interest and actually pay down your debt. So POV, do you see that this is talking to her client's pain point and the dream result?
Mhm.
So that's why we go back in the beginning. So you can save this and the video is just her reading a book. One time all she was doing was eating dessert, but she was eating dessert in Italy because she's rich now and her clients want to be rich, right? So I like her for that same example as this is what I mean by like marketing algebra. Cause you take one concept and you just plug in the different variables, who you're talking to, what's their pain point, what's their desired result. And all it is if you can just be standing in front of your van. You put your phone on a tripod and you just stand in front of your painting van, you stand in front of a house. You just like this.
My coat looks cute on her.
And just like you said at the beginning of class, I don't believe that homeowners should have to, shell out an arm and a leg just to be proud of the place they live. Text on screen, that's all. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Juices are fun, yeah?
And my brain is just like, I know,
I know.
it's wonderful.
So for the next class, we're gonna talk about how we can optimize our profiles in one fell swoop in our 150 characters on Instagram. We can call out our target audience. We can make sure that they find us when they're typing their problem and then we pop up. We can establish ourselves as an authority and we can convert them into an email list. We can get some kind of lead conversion. There's this whole strategy. So we're gonna talk about that next week because let's say you're gonna post and you go viral, but if you don't have your bio worked out, all that traffic is for nothing. If it's not funneling in the right place, okay? Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys all follow each other? You follow Jennifer, I follow Jennifer, okay?
What about you?
What about me,
Can I
what?
follow you?
Oh, yeah, totally, follow me, the real
I
Sarah,
just did.
I just did too.
Yeah.
I'm already getting stuff.
REEL, yeah, exactly, cause I make the, yeah.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, you guys.
That was fun.
Sarah with an H.
Sarah with an H, yes.
Very nice. Now, if people that didn't come tonight wanna come next time, it's okay, right?
It is okay, and everything I'm doing is building, but it's kind of like a sitcom, right? You can kind of jump in. It'd be cool if you could go back to the beginning,
Yeah,
but
but you can, but I just
whatever you do.
I want people to feel like they can come, so,
Absolutely.
yeah, okay,
Okay,
great.
so we're all gonna check in on each other.
Thank
I'm
you.
hopefully gonna have a painted kitchen and you guys are gonna have.
We don't have a painted kitchen, we're gonna make a deal with Malcolm.
Okay.